What is going on, guys? Bruin Steel here, and welcome back to another WWE broadcast. I'm your host, Bruin Steel, and I'm joined by Canadian Yorker, and tonight we are recapping the Monday Night Raw that took place March 31st, 2025, and it took place in London, England, in the O2 Arena, and it is the last show overseas, so it's been a hell of a year up tour, but we are going to be back in the United States next week on Raw. So it's been hell of a Europe tour for WWE and our us WWE fans. So, Canadian Yorker, how's it going tonight?
Going pretty well tonight. Can't complain. Been a pretty busy day. But for the most part, can't I gotta say it's been a fulfilling day as well. Can't complain and can't wait to be here talking to you about wrestling.
All right, so to start off the show, we once again start off with John Cena making his entrance, but before he can speak, he gets interrupted by the American Nightmare. He takes his sweet time and lets the crowd sing for him as he squares up with Cena and tells them, "We heard John talk enough these past 2 weeks, and now he's gonna do his job for him. He's gonna cook him, right? He's gonna end him. Where to start? There's so much to make fun of. For starters, he has a little bit of lipsy. Words with the S can be trouble like stardust. Let's see, what else? He has an arm tattoo, but it's on his neck. He got booed into the company he created. There's so much but he knew John wasn't going to bite on it. Maybe he's just struggling with the idea that Superman really is dead. But mainly he thinks Cena's words haven't matched his action, and he thinks he's been lying these past couple of weeks. They used to ride together. He knows John really does care about the fans, and he wants him to look at them and tell him really why. Cena looks thoughtful for a moment, perking his lip as like, "You sold out," chants ring up. He said he's not going to reduce himself and punch down to Cody's level just to protect him because he's been protected long enough. He also not going to cook him. He's going to bury him just like he buried everyone else. The crowds have been saying for years that John Cena buries talent, but he doesn't bury talent. He is taken. He buries me. He buries mediocre. He doesn't give a rat's ass about Cody's lip service or his failures. But his ego upstrides his ability, and all he done is rolled Cena's cocktails, and he did so great that they could hand the reins of the organization to his chauffeur, a slimy pickpocket herb who thinks that just because he stole the blueprint, he can run the kingdom. Cody with the title disgusted him. He sat by his side for years and stole every secret he needed to undeniable but still overwhelming. He tried to drill it into his intellectual skull that he needs to be autistic, but he's too perfect and polished and rehearsed, relying on a lazy gimmick to get by. Cody Rhodes did not look, act, or work like him, but also he doesn't look, act, or work like himself because all these years he's been afraid to the show who he really is. So instead, we get a generic mix of his favorite TV shows and stars looking like a kid who's taking acting lessons and still afraid of public speaking. Rhodes has only shown that there's something mediocre wearing something meaningful, and that's enough to trick these people. He worked too hard to make the title meaningful to see it carted around by Nebo Baby, so artistic that he had a gimmick tattooed on him. He's not the location of the tattoo. It's that he has it all exposed him as the common fan just like them. So after he loses, he can go buy the toy belt and be exposed of who he is, a errant boy that got lucky. That's why, pal. Cody Rhodes fires back and said he was chosen by the fans. Can John say the same, or was he chosen by one guy in the office that we don't talk about anymore? Stripped everyone away from him. He's Cody Rhodes, a wrestler like his father before him, and anybody is a company creation is Cena, not him. Everyone's so terrified of him on the mic, but he's not. He knows John has more dick in his promo than he does in his shorts. Make fun of him for looking 16 and taking public speaking lessons. John hangs out with Zac Efron and wishes he was 16. What a softball saying he created in all this. He created a long disfranchised fans who made it easy for him to go elsewhere and create something new for him. Cody Rhodes says, "Don't act like you cleaned your room before you left, John. Don't act like you left WWE better than you found it." Cody Rhodes gonna ask one more thing that might punch a hole in old logic. It's quite simple. Between the two of them, man, who won? Which one sold out to The Rock? You sold out, chants ring out. Rhodes says Cena is still his Sierra, but he's also a piece of shit. John Cena says his brain is filled with facts, not facts, and he worked hundreds times harder than him, and he was never protected from a superstar or audience taking their best shot at him. And every time he steps into the ring, it's a challenge to take your strongest swing, see if you're worthy to put him on the ground. And no one have been, so he's just doing it himself, and that's why he never left. He always been there, no matter what, how high the hill is or gross the garbage, he finds a way to make it great. Cody had to leave because at the best he can wipe Cena's ass. He builds the empire. The best Rhodes does is steal money from the kids, and he'll see him at WrestleMania. Cody calls him back and says, in all time he's been back here, never once has they changed to him, you can't wrestle. That gets John back in the ring and ready to fight, except he smiles and turns away. Cena turns back for a cheap shot, but Rhodes sees it coming, blocks the punch, and lays him out with a crossroads. He takes John's hat and throws it on an unconscious body and leaves the ring as Cena starts to stir. So, Cody Rhodes getting the better of Cena. We have to see what goes down the road, but whoa, what a promo between John Cena and Cody Rhodes. What are your thoughts, Canadian Yorker, on this opening segment?
Whew. Uh, Man, John Cena finally speaks. They finally, it's like the gloves came off in this promo segment between John Cena and Cody Rhodes. I mean, the first 2 weeks, John Cena didn't respond to Cody Rhodes at all. Cena had 2 weeks to look at what Cody was telling him, and he saw exactly Cody for who he is. He's known Cody for a long time, and I mean, John Cena is one of the biggest WWE superstars after The Rock to come up in WWE, and he made it. I've seen John Cena's whole career. John Cena came from nothing and made himself a household name from nothing. The rags to riches story. That's the story of John Cena right here. Meanwhile, Cody Rhodes, he is Cody Rhodes because his family name. His father was a wrestler. I think his grandfather was also a wrestler, and his brother is a wrestler. Now he is a wrestler, and as he is just a family. He's from a family dynasty, just like Randy Orton is. And John Cena came up, and man, John Cena lit him up. And on the mic, man, like John Cena said, he didn't have to cook Cody Rhodes at all. John Cena buried Cody Rhodes. John Cena's main desire and reason to completely bury Cody Rhodes, and just bury him. But John Cena definitely just brought the facts out and stated the facts of why he is who he is compared to himself being with Cody Rhodes. you know. But I would say John Cena definitely, he didn't intend to cook Cody Rhodes at all. He didn't need to cook Cody Rhodes. He just talked to Cody Rhodes, and but Cody Rhodes did have some really good pointers coming back at John Cena. Man, the promo between John Cena and Cody Rhodes was really good. Um, man, I gotta say, I wish we had more of it, more promo time between John and Cody. Uh, over the past couple of weeks, if we had more promo between John and Cody there, But I'm pretty sure if that happened, John Cena would have really, really messed Cody up and stuff, because John Cena is really good on the mic. Um, and I would say, why should WWE wait until a week or so or before WrestleMania? Why wait before WrestleMania? We're only about a week or two away, or 3 weeks away from WrestleMania. Why wait for 3 weeks before WrestleMania happens? But probably it's just because of the storyline. Um, it's just looking. It's. I think John Cena is stating these facts because he's putting. I think he's doing this to put doubts in Cody's mind about who Cody is. Um, I know Cody Rhodes wants to win John Cena back, but I don't think there's any chance that Cody Rhodes is going to win John Cena back from, you know, because he has to beat John Cena at WrestleMania. So I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
All right, so moving on to the first match of Monday Night Raw, we got the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. They have a new theme. Not sure if they used this theme last week, but I think it's a new theme. It was okay, I guess. It still says New Day. Against a returning Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, the New Catch Republic returning in action. I believe Tyler Bate was out for a while with a torn pec. Pete Dunne was nowhere to be found. We've seen just some segments, him go fooling around with R-Truth, but the New Catch Republic is back against the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. The New Day is trying to prove to Adam Pearce that they're worthy of having a tag team match against the Viking Raiders. To start off this show, to start off this match, sorry, Bate and Woods start to start Whistlock, test of strengths, head scissoring, hand walking his way up the turnbuckles to tag Dunne in. Pete clobbers Xavier with a forearm. Jim breaks special into a bicep stomp, tag to Tyler Senton and McCole, and blows Kingston a kiss, and back body drops him into the floor. Stereo dive takes New Day out. Um, New Day working Dunne over. Quick tags. Shadows over Health Senton on the apron. Big diving lateral gets Kofi a near fall. Bate tags in. Airplane spinning out into the drop. Tag to Pete. Stereo kicks in the corner. Rebound. Lateral assist. The German suplex, but Woods break it up. Dunne wishbones was fingers. So from Kofi. Cover for two. Dialer back in. Bop and bang, Dunne with a kick to in the corner, setting up some kind of heart attack. But Kofi pulls Bate off the apron, tag to Kofi, Breakbreaker hold. New Day hitting the daybreak on Pete Dunne. New Day defeats a returning New Catch Republic Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate by pinfall. Post match, New Day are interviewed. They demand a title match. They get confronted by the War Raiders. So I think we're about to see a WrestleMania match between War Raiders and New Day. That'd be a nice, great match to watch. They have history. So, what are your thoughts on the New Day defeating the New Catch Republic by pinfall?
Great. That's a great win for the New Day. It's I would say, the New Day, as far as we know, they have formed themselves into an infamous heel tag team faction on WWE, and I know one day they're gonna get a shot at the tag team titles. So it's gonna be really interesting seeing the New Day face off against the War Raiders. Um, I gotta say, man, it's kind of sad, to see. I don't want to see the War Raiders facing off against the New Day just yet. I think the War Raiders could definitely face off against some other heel tag team group, and we need to see the War Raiders facing. We need to see the War Raiders, um, you know, at WrestleMania. These guys, they have to face. They have to win at WrestleMania, but I don't want to see them win against the New Day at WrestleMania. Obviously, I think it'll be good for them to get a win against some other heel tag team too group. It cannot be the Judgment Day. Of course, you've already seen the Judgment Day, and they're not the same. So it can't be the Judgment Day. So I just got to see that happen. But I would love to see the War Raiders main event WrestleMania and do that. I think New Day can also main event WrestleMania as a heel tag team group. That's great for them. So let's get that done.
All right, so excuse me. Oh, my stomach hurts. Moving on to the next match, we got Gunther, the World Heavyweight Champion, against Big Jimmy Uso. Uso waltzing in. Uso waltzing in with right hands. Gunther shoves him. Oh my God, what is going on? Give me a second. My computer does not want to participate today. Oh man. Gunther versus Jimmy Uso. Uso waltzing in with right hands. Gunther shoves him off and drops him with a big boot. Big Jimmy Uso mounts a comeback action to the floor. the ring general into the announce desk. Back inside up top, diving splash, but Gunther gets the knee up. Going up top, Uso meets him, superplex connects. Jimmy Uso back up top again, a diving splash lands flush this time, but the ring general kicks out, back to the floor. Gunther back suplex Uso into the apron and drops him with a lateral. Jimmy Uso blocks the right hand. Another slap, big slicing right, super kick scattering Gunther and snapping off a Juber suplex. Therefore, following it up with another suplex. Ring General cuts him off with a dropkick powerbomb cover, but he pulls Uso up, jawing at Uso, big lateral, and again, he pulls Jimmy up to 2. Jimmy trying to pull himself together, crawling to the ropes. Gunther chops him hard across the back and puts him into the Quadrilla clock locked in. Gunther hitting the Gunther putting the Gojira clutch on Jimmy Uso to win the match by referee stoppage. Post match, Gunther puts the clutch back on, and main event Jey Uso makes the save. Double leg into hammering punches, and the ring general runs away, but Jey is right on him with more punches. The champion beats a hasty retreat and out through the crowd. Jey checks on his brother. Gunther returns to ambush Jey Uso, of course, and throws him through the damn steel steps. Road agent security break it up, but he powerbombs a security guard into the stairs, putting Uso's face into the post. The ring general has a handful of zip ties and puts them around Jey's waist, goggling his eyes to keep him from escaping. He got Jey zip tied to the separate rope. He picks Jimmy Uso up and whips him into the barricade. Jey pulling desperately at the zip ties, scraping them along the ring to try and weaken the plastic. Gunther gets in the ring to taunt him as he keeps pulling and struggling. Jey desperately puts up a bravo promising to beat his ass as Jimmy climbs up to the other side slowly. Gunther nails Jimmy with the title belt. The ring general playing keep away with the title, begging Jey to touch it as the blooded and battered Big Jimmy crawls back into the ring. Gunther grabs Uso by the hair and lifts him up for a powerbomb. Jimmy blood covered Gunther's forearm as he hammers right hands. Jey unable to break loose. Gunther licks the blood off his fingers and drags him into the front of his brother. Jey desperately tries to pull Jimmy to him, but Gunther picks him up for the hammer and out elbow and locks the Kazula trough back in. Blood still pouring from Jimmy's face, covering the World Heavyweight Champion. Road agents hit the ring and back him off and get Jimmy Uso some medical assistance. This is a dangerous and psychopath Gunther we have never seen before as Gunther defeats Jimmy Uso. What are your thoughts?
Yes, we're seeing it. I mean, let's face it. We both know this is the same Gunther who has just past in the past destroyed his opponents, and nearly if it wasn't for Gunther constantly fooling around at WrestleMania in his Intercontinental match against Sami Zayn, then he would have won against Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. This is the guy who loves physicality. He loves to brutalize his opponents, and let's just say, uh, since he lost his Intercontinental title to Sami Zayn, he was shown to be, he's not really sure of himself type of person. But I mean, once he was shown as to be like he had a human side to him, he wasn't a confident person that he was. I think he's regained that confidence because he's a champion, he's a world heavyweight champion, and he's showing how dominant he can be. And is this what he's done to Jimmy Uso? Like this is I guess I've hinted at this before. Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso are not facing Roman Reigns. They're facing a different type of person entirely. Gunther is a brutal tactician. He doesn't wrestle like he can beat you in so many ways, and he doesn't wrestle like Roman Reigns. And so, obviously they think that obviously he's doing this to show Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso that they are way in over their head. Okay, that he is a dominant champion. So he's really made sending a message to Jay Uso to show him that he is, you know, that he is, uh, uh, that he is not to be trifled with. And Jay Uso definitely has to make sure if he's gonna beat Gunther, he has to do it convincingly.
All right, so excuse me. Moving on to the next match, we got a tag team match. We got Braun Breaker and Penta teaming up. Never saw Braun Breaker and Penta teaming up. Uh, versus the Judgment Day, Dominik Mysterio and Finn Balor. Mysterio and Penta to start. Dom hammering him with stomps, tags made off the ropes, and Breaker slammed Balor. Back elbow tag to zero, kicks in the corner, big handstand double stomp. Capradora sends Dominik packing when he runs in and Braun clothesline him to the floor for good measure. Penta off the ropes. Topkons Kiros um, wait, what's the hell? Don with the three amigos. Penta with a lung blower, tag to breaker, and he throws everyone around with a belly to belly suplex. Double suplex on both Balor and Mysterio. Zero going for a flip pile driver. Dom pulled him down. Braun charges in and accidentally spears Penta when Finn steps aside. Mysterio takes Breaker to the floor. Balor on top. Balor hitting the coup de grace on Penta to win the match. The Judgment Day was a huge win over Penta and Braun Breaker thanks to the accidental spear from Braun Breaker on Penta, costing them the match. Judgment Day defeats Penta and Braun Breaker by pinfall. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, that's a big win for Judgment Day for Braun Breaker. I'm sure for Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. Um, it's I guess you know the Judgment they have tag team experience, so they use that to their advantage. They get the win against Braun Breaker and Penta is one of the hottest stars right now, um, coming into WWE on Raw, and Braun Breaker is Intercontinental Champion. So for them to lose against the Judgment Day is kind of surprising because the Judgment Day have been on a losing streak as of late, and they have not been winning any matches. Um, but I mean, you have to give credit where credit is due for the better team. So Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio got the win, and to give them the credit, they won.
All right, so moving on to your favorite segment, Canadian Yorker. AJ Styles making his entrance. He says he's been waiting in the back patiently for Logan Paul to call him out, and he's tired of waiting. If he got something to say to his face, come out and say it now. He gets interrupted by your favorite boy, Logan Paul. He says AJ wouldn't understand, and neither would the crowd because they're not famous like he is. A global phenomenon who is extremely rich and loved by everyone and really attractive. Everyone else is on his time. Do as you're told and wait like sheep. He tells AJ that he had a change of heart and that gets shut the fuck up chance. He's a dad now, a girl dad, and he's trying to teach his daughter the art of forgiveness, so he forgives AJ Styles for what he did at Madison Square Garden, but he does not forget, so don't try to pull that again. Styles says he feels him. He has a daughter too, so he forgives Logan too. AJ Styles chants ring out and he pauses for a moment. Paul asks what he means, and AJ says in the crowd to hear him out, he forgives Logan for being the biggest douchebag to ever step foot in WWE. He brags about his success and his money, but the fans don't care about that. They care about what you're willing to sacrifice in this ring for them. He will give Paul that he has all the talent in the world, but in this business, talent only gets you so. So the question is, what are you going to do about it? Logan Paul says he'll ask AJ for advice, but you know what they say: don't take advice from anyone you don't want to trade places with. Um, Styles says they also say don't let your mouth write a check your ass can't cash. Paul asks if that's a threat. If AJ says this is Monday Night Raw, they're in London, England, he got this gear on in the middle of the ring. What does he think? Logan says he thinks he's just saying a bunch of stuff that's true. He's done talking. Paul Heyman Logan Paul does not fight for free, and this city cannot afford him. And he points at various people in the crowd and calls them broke. Paul wants to call a spade or spade. He knows AJ Styles wants that big money match against him, so set your sights at a little higher. He points at the WrestleMania sign and tries to cheap shot, but Styles blocks him, punching his way into the corner, setting up Styles Clash denied. Action to the floor. He bounces Logan's face off the announce table and takes him back, and where Logan Paul wrenches the middle rope up to his gentleman's area with a low blow as he returns to the ring. With the polarizer connects, Logan Paul hitting the polarizer on AJ Styles. Logan Paul stands tall. Um, what are your thoughts on that segment? You got to cheer for Logan.
Logan Paul, uh, I just have to say, he gets a win.
Congratulations.
He gets a win, Logan Paul against AJ Styles. But I know AJ Styles is beating Logan Paul at WrestleMania. That is happening for sure. Um,
Logan
Logan
Paul,
Paul,
Logan Paul, Logan Paul hit AJ Styles in the nuts.
Logan Paul is a slimy, no good, low down, just all around attention seeker diva. That's what he is, and he does anything to get likes and clicks, and that is exactly that's his whole career for the most part. He even started a a TV show with his brother Jake Paul at Lifetime, with them CNN or whatever they did. I don't know, but what's the point of that? But guys, here's talking about this. I just hope that Logan Paul loses to AJ Styles at WrestleMania, and I don't think it just doesn't make sense to me that AJ Styles would get blindsided by Logan Paul like that. Um, Obviously, AJ Styles should know how to counter Logan Paul. AJ Styles is one of the bigger WWE stars in WWE, and for that to happen to AJ Styles like that, man, I just don't think that's a good thing for that to happen to AJ Styles like that. AJ Styles, you know, I think AJ Styles should definitely have had the upper hand against Logan Paul. He should have the upper hand against Logan Paul, but I think this the reason why that happened to AJ Styles is because I guess that AJ Styles is just coming back from injury or something, and yeah, man, you know what? I hope Logan Paul loses to AJ Styles at WrestleMania. That's gonna happen.
What if Logan beats AJ?
No way, man. Logan has to lose. Logan, you are going down at WrestleMania. That is happening.
All right, moving on to the main event match. We got Io Sky defending the Women's World Championship against Rhea Sky with Bianca Belair as the special guest referee. Circling collar and elbow, Sky with a side headlock, struggling to the ropes. Blair counts off a 5 count break and separates them when Rhea refuses to let go. Shoulder blocks into the corner. Right hands again. Bianca pulls Rhea away after astonishing her. Io grabs a front caterer and takes her into the corner for punches, and Bianca pulls her off and warns her as well. Side headlock. Rhea shoots her off, looking for a heel pick, trading near falls in the middle of the ring off the rope. Sky with a hamstring, but Rhea drops her with a lateral. Sky is down and out. Rhea Ripley draws her up. Io slips out. Off the ropes, big dropkick, missile dropkick. Sky is fired up off the ropes. Suicide dive connect. Rhea Ripley gets under her electric chair facebuster on the apron, but Io steps off of Poison Frankensteiner. Back inside, trading forearms. Io wins the exchange. Leg sweep. Rhea Ripley ducks the roundhouse waistlock. Sky rolls through for a double stomp. Second rope electric chair blocks the poison Frankensteiner. Firemen scare Io with the avalanche crucified driver so close. The corner needs double jump perching. Rhea Ripley knocks her down, but Sky snaps her neck over the ropes. Diving crossbody countered headbutt, no good. Reptile counter, DDT countered. Rhea Ripley gets her up in the Canadian ball breakbreaker. Razor's Edge running in through Io Sky kicks out. Rhea Ripley argues with guest referee Bianca Belair. She draws Io up back to the pump, and though the champion falls over, victory pull, a pin for a near fall, leg scissoring, pin countered waist lock, standing switch, back big back elbow from Rhea Ripley. Io ducks, and Rhea Ripley accidentally kicks Bianca and sends her to the floor. Riptide connects, but there's no referee. Bianca just about hurt back on her feet, clutching her jaw. Rhea betrayed it. Rhea berating her. Bianca slides in and counts a pin. No good enough. Rhea Ripley arguing. Bianca tells her off. Io comes over. Rhea takes her down. Ground punches. Bianca breaks it up. Rhea slaps Bianca across the face and in frustration. Io Sky off the top with a missile dropkick. But Rhea Ripley sidestep and she hits Bianca this time. Bianca throws the match out. The match goes to a double disqualification draw. Post match, Rhea Ripley goes to the floor to brawl with Bianca, and Io dives on both of them, taking Rhea Ripley inside to beat her down. Bianca follows and hammers Sky with elbows. Rhea Ripley with a headbutt. Reptile to Belair, one for Io Sky 2. Rhea Ripley gets Bianca up. Avalanche, Reptile. Rhea Ripley holds the title up over her two fallen rivals, and that would do it for the show. No triple threat has been announced, so we have to see if they're going to do that next week, but the match goes to a double disqualification because Bianca called a double disqualification because she got attacked twice. What are your thoughts?
Um, yeah, this is interesting. I just thought of something. I think that Rhea Ripley, for some reason, Rhea Ripley really struggles against really good small wrestlers like Liv Morgan and Io Sky. I just realized that her facing against Io Sky, I underestimated Io Sky. Io Sky is a great champion, um, and if Rhea Ripley is going to go into WrestleMania, she needs to be able to beat Io Sky clean, one on one. And the Judgment Day is not there. The Judgment Day is out of commission right now. Um, so I would say, it's unfortunate that this match went to a double referee stoppage. So, but Bianca Belair was there. Um, I would love to see. They got to call this triple threat match between Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley because it's got to happen. Obviously, because these ladies don't like each other at all, so it makes sense that be they need to be facing each other off against WrestleMania so we can see who's going to be the clear champions coming out of WrestleMania. Um, the other thing I'm kind of curious about is Rhea Ripley a heel now? Is she because she's arguing she's definitely acting more like a heel than she is as a face type of person.
She's a
Um,
tweet. She's a tweener right now. She just was made a tweener 2 weeks ago.
Queen, yeah. So I mean, if Rhea Ripley wins at WrestleMania when she wins a championship back, what's going to be the next step for Rhea Ripley? Of course, going into WrestleMania. Um, after WrestleMania, I mean, uh, there's a lot of questions that I have about Rhea Ripley and also Bianca Belair. Um, but at the same time, um, you know, I think that this was a good match. It's definitely a good match for Rhea Ripley to get a rematch against Io Sky and see if she could beat Io Sky. But Io Sky is giving Rhea Ripley a run for her money. Um, Io Sky is making Rhea Ripley really work for her, work against her because she is a really great wrestler. No wonder Bianca Belair always had trouble facing Io Sky. Um, Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley definitely have a challenge. They have a lot on their plate facing Io Sky at WrestleMania. So um, there's a lot that can happen at WrestleMania. So it's going to be really interesting, seeing what's going to be the outcome of WrestleMania and what's going to happen within the next coming weeks with Io Sky and Bianca and and Rhea Ripley. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
Alright, so that will do it for Monday Night Raw. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Bruin Stills, this Canadian Yorker. And in terms of our grading, I absolutely love this show. I don't know how I feel about the main event, double disqualification. Anytime there's a special guest referee, like a wrestler, there's going to be a double disqualification, obviously. So I don't know. They better announce Rhea Ripley, Bianca, and Io for the world title. That's the match of the ages, so I don't know why they didn't announce it. So hopefully that happens next week on Raw. So we got to see that. Overall, I give this show A minus. How about you?
I would give the show a. I'll give it an A. It was definitely great. There's a lot of things that happen. I agree with you about the main event. It should have just been, instead of being special guest referee, it should have just been a regular match. Um, Bianca could have interfered, and then there would be a double, uh, thing. But it ended the way it ended. So that's the way it should have gone. Um, Easy. Oh no, it was pretty good.
Alright, so that will do it for Monday Night Raw. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't done so, like, subscribe. Check out Canadian Yorker's YouTube channel. Link will be in the description as well as our Wrestling Bros channel. It's WWE Wrestling Bros, which is our wrestling channel. That link will also be in the description of this video as well. But that would do it. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Bruin Stills, this is Canadian Yorker, and we'll see you guys in the next broadcast. Enjoy the rest of your night and take it easy, guys. See you guys later.
See you later.